First of all, congratulations to Josh Jacobs. We're certainly deserving of the honor, and we're excited as a staff to see how far he's come, and we're certainly excited about what the future holds for him. So congratulations to Josh Jacobs.
Is that any surprise to you at all that he's getting the accolades nationally now that you guys have been seeing every day?
Well, again, it says a lot, not only about him, but the offensive line and really that entire group as a whole. But when you take a player in the first round, then certainly you expect success early on, and he's given us that. And again, his work ethic, we've talked about his work ethic, his preparation. We just like the player, certainly as a person as well, but we really like the player that we drafted.
Does he do a good job of kind of staying patient and following the blocking as it's drawn up?
Yeah, again, I think Kirby and Tom Cable, they do a great job of explaining it and installing the run game. And he has been a patient runner, but there's certain schemes require a certain pace in the run, and he's shown that he can do that. And again, his preparation and his willingness to learn and listen has been great.
Incognito working at center again today?
Yeah, we worked there, Richie again today, and fortunate, as we've said from the get-go, to have a veteran group of offensive linemen that have all played different positions, and him having played center in his background. He played center for me when I was with the St. Louis Rams a long time ago. So, and he played it very well. But he got some work there today, and again, that's a credit to the people that assembled the team to have so many versatile linemen.
What's your level of concern as far as center goes this week?
Really not that high, to be honest with you. Both Rodney and Andre James were out there today, and they both felt good, and they look good walking around. But they've given us indication that they good chance they'll be out there tomorrow.
Just generally speaking, when you have a new guy come in mid-season, how much falls on the assistant coaches to get guys up to speed, like we've seen with Davis and Jones? How challenging can that be, try to get a guy up to speed while you're still game planning and doing all that?
Yeah, a lot of hours, and again, credit goes to the coach. Edgar Bennett has spent a lot of time with these new wide receivers that we've had in here. We'll have some guys that'll be playing in the Coliseum for the first time, when Zay Jones, really, and Trevor have not played a home game in the Coliseum. So it tells you that they're two of our players that we'll be counting on for us moving forward, and are a big part of what we're doing right now. But they've never played in the Coliseum, so that was kind of an interesting note today talking to those two guys. But there's a lot involved in it. There's certainly a lot of hours involved in coaching, but when you bring a player in mid-season, then it just puts a little bit more on the coach, spending a little later hours in the evening.
Derek was talking, I think it was yesterday, about how something like a Wednesday install was like a 60-page thing to go through. And there's people talk about how much Gruden prepares and how much stuff he does all the time, but you've worked other places too. Is what you guys do extreme?
It's a tremendous amount of volume, I will say that. Again, and I think our players appreciate that. Again, the stimulation, the motivation part, it's easy to feel stimulated when you come into work when you know every day you're going to get something new and challenging. And I think that's a big part, as you know, his personality. He likes to challenge people. And I think our players appreciate it. I think it says a lot about the guys that we've brought in terms of their intelligence and their football IQ, because they have come in and especially the new receivers and some of the newer offensive linemen have picked it up very quickly, and that says a lot about the type of player that we've brought in so far. But it is a challenge.
I think when Callahan was here and was the offensive coordinator, line coach, whatever he would say, if you teach them 4 plays, they'll learn 4 plays.
Yeah.
As opposed to.
No question.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. And again, we've got really a kind of a veteran staff on our side of the ball. When you look at Kirby Wilson, has been a coordinator, and Tom Cable's been a head coach and has coached a long time. I just think that helps as well. We've got guys that in the coaching staff that have gone the extra mile and have got the experience to kind of integrate guys in quickly.
How have you seen Derek benefit from just the strong pass protection that you guys have had this year?
You'd ask him, but I know he's very comfortable right now in the pocket, and that's a really good feeling for him. Lessens the anxiety certainly post-snap, but we're certainly happy with where Derek's coming this season and where the offensive line has been so far.
His yards per attempt is a career high right now. What have you seen the last few weeks out of Derek as far as getting the ball downfield a little more often?
Yeah, again, shots. We'll talk about that and what understanding situational football and understanding John on the play calls and when he's looking for a shot. And I think that's still a process, but I think he's got a better feel for situationally when John's looking for that shot play down the field, and then play design and understanding the intent of the play is a big part of it. So he's getting better at that, and when those opportunities are there, we'd like to see him take advantage of them.
With your wideouts, they've gone through so much transition and turnover in that one position group. Do you feel like that you're finally starting to kind of settle, that Jones and Davis are getting integrated, Williams is getting healthy again, that could be a good thing for the offense as a whole as that group kind of gets more stable?
Well, we'd say competition, I think, brings out the best in everybody, and we have a competitive room in the wide receiver room. We have a very competitive room in the offensive line room, and we have a competitive room in the running back room. Tight ends, as we've mentioned in the past, we feel very good about our tight ends, and it's based upon our competition within that room and the standards that they set within each position group. And I think it makes everybody better to have that kind of competition and those type of standards that they set in those rooms.
What does it say about the offensive line, Greg, with the fact that you guys have only had the projected starting line for 10 snaps, and yet Derek hasn't been sacked in 4 games now, and things like that?
Yeah, we kind of made a big deal at the end of the week last week that it was going to be the first time that we had the original 5 guys that we had expected to start the season together, and unfortunately it was a quick exit for Rodney. But we would like at some point when we get those 5 guys together, we really look forward to that day. However, with that being said, with the injuries, as we said earlier, it's nice to have guys that have played multiple positions and are veteran players that the game's not too big for, and that still have very good football left in them. I think we've had a number of guys that have come in and played along the offensive line, and yet it's not a very noticeable or a glaring area of weakness for us. So we're fortunate that way to the depth that we've built up right now on this team.